Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Ask the Young Cow. I'm Leon Street together with my co-host today.
I'm Jack Rogers.
And so we've got more content for you to look at, all to do with WordPress and how you can improve the performance of WordPress and also how you can test and measure. And we're going to touch on the slideshow presentation in a moment, just so you can get into that and see some of the details of what we've got, as well as the formalities and all the usual stuff from Ask the Young Cow. Remember, we like to jump into our trusty presentation when it does work. So here we go. Let's jump back to slide 1. So as you said, the title is Here's How to Test and Measure and Improve the Performance of Your WordPress Website. Now we know there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who use WordPress, probably into millions really. And it's a popular tool for managing your website, for allowing you to market your website. It's just got some great plugins or extensions or features that just allow it to extend into marketing and help you move your business forward. Before we get into the details, remember it's hashtag A2YC. You can get us on Twitter, or you can leave us a comment or question on or below this video if you're watching us back on YouTube and not watching us live. If you've got any questions, there's anything that you think actually I'd love to have some help with to do with digital marketing, internet marketing, marketing in general, even small business, please ask us. We're here to help. We do this every Wednesday, 1 p.m. UK time. And let's get stuck in, Jack.
Yeah.
Right, so let the people know what the agenda is today.
Yeah, okay, so the agenda today is testing, measuring, and performance plugins, the benefits of these plugins, content delivery networks, so CDNs, and resources.
Okay, great stuff, great stuff. So what we're going to do is touch on the first one, and I'm going to hand over to Jack for this one.
Yep, so the first one we've got is Google Analytics by Yoast. So really, do you want to track how many visitors you have? Do you want to know where they come from and what they do on your site? So Google Analytics measures visitors on your site and much more. So this plugin, once you add it to your website, it's very easy to set up, and this will connect it to Google Analytics so it can start to track all details about all of your visitors.
Yeah, so the benefit of this is that when you sign up for Google Analytics, you need to have a Google account first of all, but Google will give you some code, and it's basically the tracking code, a bit of JavaScript that needs to go into your website. But with the use of the Google Analytics by Yoast plugin, instead of pulling all of the code, if it seems a bit like, wow, it sounds a bit like programming, or you're out of your depth in terms of, you know, knowledge and so on, they give you an ID, and in that ID it starts UA, and then you use that, or you copy that ID and you paste that into the Google Analytics by Yoast plugin on your WordPress website. Very easy to follow. And then once you paste it in, that connects your WordPress website to Google Analytics, and then you can start to track all of the great information about your website visitors that Google allows you to do for free. So you can see, obviously, there's a dashboard here where you can see examples of visits to a website, which ones are new, which ones are returning visits, what browser, what device, how people found you in terms of search engines, and what country they came from. So lots of useful information for all your business online that can help you to really drive things forward. Now, you can also set it up when you've got Google Analytics set up properly. You can set up business goals, and so the goals could be, do you want people to sign up to a newsletter so you can track that? Do you want people to fill in a lead generation form so that can also be tracked? And so goals can just be the things or the actions that you want people to take when they're on your website. I mean, one simple goal could be, maybe you've got a video on a specific page and you want to see if people spend, I don't know, a certain amount of time on that particular page watching the video, and that be a result that you're trying to achieve in terms of a goal. So let's say the video is, I don't know, 5 minutes long, but you want them to at least watch that video for 4 minutes. So one goal might be just to track if people are on a page for 4 minutes to watch a specific video. So really a goal is anything that can be tested and measured. And there's lots of ingenious ways in terms of setting up goals so that you can then test the performance of how well your marketing and your website in actual fact is performing. Okay, so that's a great way to test and measure, track leads, track inquiries, all of those things, track where your hits are coming from, and then also to see, you know, which marketing strategy is the key one. Is it that people are finding you on Google search engine? Are they finding you on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, any other site? Are you getting lots of referrals from another website? And that way you can start to focus on what is working, what isn't working, and do more of what is. So I think that covers Google Analytics and integrating that with your WordPress website. So let's move on then. So testing and measuring and performance. Now, W3 Total Cache is a free plugin, and this one is all to do with performance, but I'll hand over to Jack on the details.
Yep, so W3 Total Cache is a plugin that helps to improve user experience and page speed. So this plugin improves user experience by reducing the time it takes for the website to load onto your visitor's computer. So this means when the site is when you load a site, the files such as CSS and images, for example, are saved in a temporary folder on your web browser. So this means that next time you visit the website, it will load a lot faster.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of any caching plugins or extensions on websites, they simply act as a kind of Polaroid, and they show up giving the latest updated version of your website. Now, what this simply means is that when somebody comes to your website, rather than all of the images, CSS, and all of those things having to load, what happens is the caching plugin will give the user, the visitor, a snapshot. So everything that was last updated on that website is then produced or shown in the browser, whether it's on a mobile device or desktop or a laptop, to the particular visitor. But it simply means that everything loads faster. And so rather than having to load lots of individual images, text, CSS, all of those things, your website is totally speeded up because it just produces a page and shows it almost like a Polaroid. Now, I don't mean that your website will be converted to an image or a photo. It just simply means this speeds things up is the bottom line. So if you haven't got any kind of caching plugins running on your website, W3 Total Cache is the perfect choice to start with. And I think we've got some benefits, haven't we, Jack?
Yeah, just bullet pointed a few benefits. So we've got an at least 10 times improvement in overall site performance, improved conversion rates and site performance, which affect your site's rank on Google. This just means really that the users have a better experience, or more likely to browse more across your website as it loads a lot more quickly.
Yeah, there's nothing more annoying than a website that takes ages to load.
No.
Yeah.
So then we've got their reduced page load time and improved web server performance, so you can sustain high traffic periods.
That's right. Cool.
Right, so move on to the next one.
Yes, please.
So the next one is called WP Smush. So what this does is it strips hidden bulky information from your images, reducing the file size without losing quality. So image files may be slowing down your site without you even knowing it. So this plugin scans every image you upload or images that are already uploaded onto your website and cuts all the unnecessary data for you. So this might be if you're using an image that only needs to be a small image, but you upload one that's
like 1 megabyte.
Yeah, 1 megabyte, which is huge and a bit too big that you don't need for your website, then this plugin will strip it down to make sure it doesn't affect the loading time on that page.
That's right. Now, this is a really useful tool, especially if you're not into editing or cropping graphics and you simply have a photo and you upload it without a care or consideration of whether it's too big or too small in terms of resolution. Now, if it's too big, this can be detrimental to the speed that your page loads. And then you've got to think about what device your visitor is on as well. So Smush is a fantastic way for the website to compress your images down, whether or not you have a clue about how to do it yourself or how to upload compressed images. It's another way just to make things easier for you when it comes to managing your WordPress website, and in particular managing the images that you load onto your pages and posts. Okay, so let's move on. What else can you do on WordPress to improve performance? Right, now there's another particular tool that you can use, and this one is not really a plugin as such on WordPress, although there are plugins for CDNs. The service is actually provided by an external company. Now, there are many CDN networks around, and what I would suggest you do is go to Google, type in CDN, and you'll see lots of them pop up, and you know, look at the prices, because most of them have a price. Now, there's a couple out there that you'll probably find that have a free starting package, but there are limitations on those, so look at them. But the whole point of a CDN, or content delivery network, is that it can help boost your website speed. You'll notice today when we're talking about performance, a lot of it is to do with speed, because that's probably one of the key things. If somebody's got to wait 10 seconds or more for your page to load, you've lost them in this day and age. A CDN serves all CSS, JavaScript, and images from a content delivery network, which means by determining the site's visitor's location and serving content from a server nearest to the visitor, it loads things faster. So if you imagine you have your website, all of the images are uploaded to your website, but then copies based on you having a CDN account are then placed on different servers in different locations in the world. So if somebody is accessing your website, let's say from America, there will be a copy of your website, the images, CSS, and all of the things that would generally load behind the scenes for somebody when they look at your website would load faster. So by having W3 total cache and the CDN network, you can probably see that not only are you producing a snapshot, but you're producing a snapshot that can be loaded faster from the same country that the person is in, or the same continent. It's all about speed. CDN is another great way that, for instance, if your website was being targeted by hackers, well, actually, they could only get as far as the CDN network, because that's where all of the images, CSS, and JavaScript would be produced. So it's also another level or layer of security that you can have on your WordPress website. So look into content delivery networks, otherwise known as CDNs. Right, over to you, Jack.
I think that's pretty much the last step we've got for the performance.
Okay, so the key thing really, guys, is if you're running a WordPress website, if you're finding that it's slow, one of the first ports of calls is to look at the plugins that we've suggested. If you're not tracking analytics already and you don't have a way to test and measure, sign up for a Google Analytics account, get the Google Analytics by Yoast plugin as advertised and linked on this particular page. They are free, and they're plugins that we recommend. You can see the top 21 WordPress plugins blog that we posted previously, and that does include these two particular plugins. Look at them. It will help you to improve performance. Even if after you've installed these plugins you are still experiencing problems, you may need to look at a better hosting package or hosting company. The first port of call is just look at what performance improvements can you have by having a better hosting package with your existing company. The second port of call would be, is there better elsewhere in terms of performance, price, and value? So that would be my suggestion. So to conclude, Jack.
Yep, so now you have an insight into the benefits of using plugins to help test, measure, and improve the performance of your WordPress website. There are a lot of websites, lot of benefits of using these plugins. So to view all the benefits, just click on the resource links next to each plugin. I think we need to do a little bit of a disclaimer, Leon.
What's the disclaimer, Jack?
Just when you're installing plugins, there are not many things that could go wrong, but just in case, make sure you do a backup of your website just before you install any plugins.
That's right. So it's just better to be safe than sorry. Back up your files and back up your database before you install anything new, as Jack's pointed out. If anything does go wrong, or there's been mistakes made by either yourself or a developer, at least you have the backup and can restore your site fairly quickly. So I think that's about it. If you've got any questions about how to improve the performance of your WordPress website, or what plugins you should be looking at for testing and measuring and tracking sales or leads performance from your WordPress website, please get in touch. Just a final note, if you are running an e-commerce site through WordPress, the Google Analytics e-commerce conversion features are really good for you to track and test and measure how well your e-commerce website is performing, as well as look at conversions and where your conversions are coming from on your website. So remember, guys, if you want more of this, it's every Wednesday, 1 p.m. UK time. Hashtag ATYC on Twitter. Ask the Young Cow. We're here to help. This is what we do. This is what we love. There's more videos on the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this one at the moment live, or if you're just watching this for the first time, check out the other videos on the channel. Lots to help you in your small business when it comes to digital marketing, internet marketing, marketing in general, small business, and a few other things thrown in between. Isn't that right, Jack?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm Leon Street and he's Jack. And just so you can see us on the screen, let me go back to our screen so we can see what we're looking at. Goodbye from us. So see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.